A lot of you guys have been asking me my thoughts on Ubisoft, specifically what is going on, why is it going on, what does this mean for the future of Ubisoft. Whenever faced with something like this, as I've learned as a program manager, the easiest way is to follow the money. So if we jump over here to the Ubisoft stock price, don't worry so much about the values of the actual stock price itself. The trend is what I want you guys to look at. And I'm looking at a 5-year, but we could even go to the max. You'll notice something. It started off low when they first started, which makes sense. It gained significant value between 2018 and 2020-ish. And then it has significantly decreased from 2021 to present day, still trending down. Why is that? What's going on here? Why are investors not happy with Ubisoft? Why is the stock not flourishing? Well, if you look at their recent releases, and I just pulled up Ubisoft releases, this is what I'm looking at from 2022 on. You're going to see, yes, you have your annual releases of games like Just Dance. You have some very odd games like Oddballers. I don't even know what that is. Roller Champions. These kind of like off games. But when you look at like the big tentpole games, the games that really should be putting Ubisoft on the map, like Assassin's Creed or Skull and Bones, you'll see a few things. One, there's not a ton of them here. And two, they're not really doing that well. And I don't just mean doing well in terms of like Metacritic, because games can sell very, very well despite having a poor critical reception. Games can also sell very, very poorly with great critical reception. But for the most part, if a game has a bad rating, it's typically not going to move the needle. And when you think about games that have been hyped up, when you think about games that are games of the year contenders, when you think about games that garner a lot of public interest and their Reddit is popular and there's lots of memes on them and you find them across various social media, well, then you start to realize that, yeah, Ubisoft games really don't fall in that category. X-Defiant released this year. Nobody's talking about X-Defiant. Nobody. I did a couple reviews on it. I said it was fun. It is. Does it hold my interest? No, I didn't think it would. It's not a Call of Duty. It's not moving the needles like that. Skull and Bones, a laughing stock of the gaming community. The supposed quadruple A game was in development hell for more than 5 years. Clearly shows a stale concept, not fun. Star Wars Outlaw, lukewarm reception, lots of promises from the studio on future patches, and lots of promises from the studio on better upgrades, and we hear you and working on things. These aren't things you want to hear in games that are supposed to move the needle. The only way the needle is moving right now is down for Ubisoft because their stock's in the toilet. It's not doing well. There's been a lot of rumors leading up to this that Ubisoft is in serious trouble. And there's been a lot of rumors that Tencent, and we'll talk about them in a moment, among others, are predatorily circling the waters, ready to take Ubisoft and buy them outright. Because we know Ubisoft is capable of great products. And at some point, the world anxiously chomped at the bit for the next major Assassin's Creed game. And the world chomped at the bit for the Division game. And we liked when Splinter Cell was actually a game and not a meme about a game or a Netflix cartoon or whatever the hell they want to do with it. But it's clear that they do have notable characters, notable IP that, when put in the right hands, could probably move the needle in the right direction. Ubisoft management is not doing those things, and that's kind of showing. When's the last time we had a good, solid update on Division? Not talking about the free-to-play game that nobody wanted that was canceled. We saw the last Ghost Recon game was very poorly received because it was really, really bad. Splinter Cell, MIA. The list goes on. So Tencent has become the front runner, and Ubisoft finally decided to release a press statement. This is the official company statement from Ubisoft, and it reads as follows. Ubisoft has noted recent press speculation regarding potential interests around the company. Capital C, I like that. It regularly reviews all its strategic options in the interest of its stakeholders and will inform the market if and when appropriate. The company, capital C, reiterates that management is currently focused on executing its strategy centered on two core verticals: open world adventures and games as a service native experience. And there you have the email and the phone number of investor relations and press relations if you'd like to reach out and ask them for more information. I do not want to ask them for more information. But they are not releasing this statement just because they're bored. There are constant rumors and speculations. If Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo commented on rumor and speculations, well, they would be releasing company statements every hour. So this to me reads of, yeah, we're working on something, but hold tight, investors. We'll figure it out. Will Ubisoft figure it out? Honestly, I don't think so. I think they're going to have to sell out. They're just not in a good place, and they need a good management shakeup. They need something right now that's going to pivot them into the future. And the trajectory they've been on, the games they've released the last few years just aren't doing it anymore. Management seems more focused on nonsensical upgrades to games like Just Dance, which I get it as a cash cow, and minor DLCs than full new experiences. And the idea is games as a service has kind of run its course. The people have spoken, but Ubisoft isn't really tracking to that. And it shows. So the front runner right now for Ubisoft is Tencent. Now, Tencent is a national global conglomerate. They are buying up things in a rapid rate. They definitely have a stranglehold on the Chinese market. Most of Chinese movies, TVs, films, books, that sort of thing, all goes through Tencent. But there's a couple things I want to point out. One, in September of 2022, Tencent acquired a 49.9% stake in the Ubisoft parent company, and they took a minority stake in a follow-on studio. So it's not like they haven't been circling the wagons with Ubisoft for a while. Obviously, this is one of the reasons why the rumor of Ubisoft getting bought out by them makes sense, because they're pretty much right there. And when you get that majority stake and a majority vote, then you can really start to change what you want the games to be. And you're really going to have a seat at the table and like, no, I don't think this is a good idea. But Tencent isn't really a stranger when it comes to video game. Honestly, oh, you're not even looking at this. Hold on. Sorry, you're listening to me talk. You're like, hey, Jim, why don't you show the screen? I wanted to show you this here really quick. Where was it? Yeah, here we go. I just want to show you this real fast. So yes, they're no stranger to this, right? They've already got that percentage. They've already got that percentage locked in. But look at some of the other things they own. They're no stranger to video games. So these are just their foreign studio assets. And you'll notice a lot of these, not necessarily game companies. A lot of them are there. Some of them are entertainment companies or production companies. But some of them have a pretty big following, like Riot Games and Turtle Rock and Techland and Supercell, Don't Nod, Epic Games, Bloober, From Software, Ubisoft, Paradox Interactive. And then they have other notable investments too: Discord, Roblox, Platinum Games, Playtonic Games, Bohemia Interactive. Wow, these guys own a lot. A lot. I mean, look at how much they're worth. Look at their revenue. $86 billion revenue in 2023. $41 billion operating income with a total net asset of over $200 billion. Whew. So would the world end if Tencent took over? I mean, you know, as an American, right? Tencent isn't necessarily our friend. China isn't necessarily our friend in just the global stage. We know this. As an entertainment company, have they done okay? I would say yes. I think they have. There's a lot of things that they have picked up and thrown a lot of money behind. And they have really kind of, you know, moved the needle, I would think, on some of the video game subsidiaries that they own. And I read them all off to you. And a lot of these are great games. I know a lot of people who enjoy Supercell. I know a lot of people who enjoy Epic Games. And Tencent is in the background making decisions and investing in this. They're not necessarily just silent partners in this. So there's always that question of what happens next for Ubisoft. I think from Ubisoft's perspective, and this is coming from somebody who's been a fan of their games since the beginning, I think they do need to go in a radical new direction. I'm not sure if Yves Guillemot is the right person to lead the company in that right direction. They seem to really be hung up on this games as a service. They really seem to be hung up on this kind of blank narrative open world experience that people have largely shifted away from. Is Tencent the right company to pick all of this up? I can't speak to that. I would prefer to be somebody else, but the reality is, you know, I just want change, and I want, you know, me wishing that Tencent didn't exist or that they might not be the best company from a United States perspective doesn't change the fact that Ubisoft really needs to get a kick in the ass. Maybe Tencent isn't the best company to do it, but somebody's going to step up. Tencent has the money. Ubisoft is going to ask a high price because they have a large network of games that at some point meant something. And people are buying those licenses, probably going to can most of the development team that makes them and put in their own studios and their own companies, which would be great. It would be Ubisoft, but in name only. But we might get a better chance at making games that are decent than the ones we've been getting now. It's hard to say. I would like to see Ubisoft try to get themselves out of this rut, but honestly, I feel like our patience is really starting to run out. I think everybody kind of looks at Star Wars Outlaws as kind of the nail in the coffin for Ubisoft releasing something that had value and quality. I don't see them rebounding from that anymore. I guess time will tell if Ubisoft is releasing formal press releases, though. Seems to me like they know their days are numbered because as a fan, we've been saying this for quite some time. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just a little bit of housekeeping as I wrap up this video. We are about to get absolutely trolloped by another hurricane. So I don't know if I'm going to be here or somewhere else. My content might be lacking for the next week because I'm not around. I don't really have anything left in the tank outside of one or two more Beckett Hearthstone videos. But if anything major comes along, I'll find a way to get it to you guys. I do appreciate all the views and the upvotes and the comments on the last Halo Studios video I did. Thank you guys. I do notice this thing when I release a video and it's got like 9 views and the next one's got like 700 views. Like, I appreciate that. So thank you for the kind words, and I will do my best to keep the momentum going forward. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.